So today I'm going to be talking about how not talking face-to-face affects college students. And being a first year at this school, it was really hard in the beginning of the year, trying to find people to connect with and clubs to get involved in. And a lot of people on Instagram and Twitter followed me and contact me to oh, we can be friends, or if we have classes together, we can hang out. But none of them, we never ended up talking face to face. It's always just online. And in high school, it's a lot easier to not talk face to face with people because you deal with them the whole year. Instead of here, you need to have connections with other students in the classrooms. And having connections is a good thing for students, especially with professors, getting to know them, instead of just trying to do it on your own. So not talking face to face creates a boundary that's harder to get past. And by learning about how not talking face to face affects college students, you'll have a better understanding, hopefully, of why you should do it. So first I'm going to discuss the problems of it, the causes, and then some solutions. In an article, The Importance of Face-to-Face Communication, written in 2013 by Austin College, says, while face-to-face communication is not always an option due to distance or conflicting schedules, it's important to do it whenever, and don't completely forget about it. Whenever it's possible, take the time to interact with your colleagues and enjoy the benefits. People start to become more antisocial when they decide not to talk face-to-face because and also in college, creating schedules that you could just leave and come back whenever you want. It creates people not having to talk whenever they want to. For me, I also dorm here, so I made my schedules, and I'm I don't have to talk to people, which I liked because at first I don't like to talk to people. And so I found out that getting to know people and creating relationships with my other classmates can benefit me to also do better in class. And so another problem is that more people turn to social media to get involved rather than on campus and in classrooms. Social media helps people also be who they want. So for example, when people would message me, they would act oh, they're so down to help me with homework and do stuff, but when it came down to in person, that's not the real, they weren't being real. So college also is a place where you realize who people are. So people being involved in the internet 24/7 and becoming antisocial doesn't really benefit us. Jim wrote on CNN an article called Texting Teens Learn How to Talk Face-to-Face on April 24th, 2012, and said people bury themselves in text behind texting and will say anything through text that wouldn't in a million years say to somebody face-to-face. And I agreed with that because my first quarter at this school, I asked some girl to help me in my English class, and she was oh, I don't understand it either, let's text about it because I can't show my emotions in person. I rather use emojis. And I was okay, she doesn't want to talk in person, but that's also a problem with not talking face to face. So now I'll discuss some causes of that. Technology is a cause of people not talking face to face, and it's a lot easier to text and email someone rather than having that interaction in person. For example, emailing a professor is a lot easier than going to office hours because you don't have to deal with that confrontation. And in an article, The Benefits of Getting to Know Your Professor, written in School Guides on October 26, 2011, it says, it can be very easy to attend lectures for an entire quarter and never come face to face with your professor. And with that being said, emailing and being online constantly, that's a cause of that. And another cause is being on the internet 24/7. It allows people to express who they are online rather than in person. And in college, like I said before, you start to realize who people really are. And with them expressing themselves online more than in person doesn't benefit us. And Sherry Turkle stated in an article in the New York Times, she states that one college junior tried to capture what is wrong about life in his generation, and he said, our texts are fine. It's what texting does to our conversations when we are together that's the problem. And that's true because you're not really able to connect with people because they're so like used to like showing who they are like over text and like online than in person. A solution is more personal, that people should limit their time online and become more involved on campus and start talking to other like professors and students. And for example, like creating study dates or going to like the library or just getting involved with other people that go to the school instead of just trying to do everything on your own. And another solution is that student organizations and clubs should become more like involved on campus. For example, like the beginning of the year, I tried finding clubs to join and I couldn't find anything like on campus. I had to look online. And I like emailed one of the clubs and they're like, oh, we don't present ourselves on campus, like it's more online. And I thought like that doesn't help me at all, because like what if I couldn't find them? And so I have to go online for everything. And it states in the top 5 reasons you should join clubs on campus on GradGuard that clubs are a great place to meet people in your future profession and make network connections. So because of that, like if you struggle with talking face to face, joining clubs and organizations can help you like connect with other people. And so yeah, by learning more about how not talking face to face affects college students, hopefully you now have a better understanding why it's important to do that. And first I discussed some problems about it, then causes and some solutions. And yeah, talking face to face can benefit us in the long run rather than trying to stay like to ourselves.